उमज्ञानतिमिरन्दस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, welcome all of you. So we are going to start a new chapter in Bhagavad Gita and a new section from chapter 7 to 12. This is called Bhakti Yoga. So very interesting section. And let us quickly revise the first 6 chapters again. Quickly start telling what was the first chapter. The acronym for the first chapter was doubt. D-O-U-B-T, doubt. Second, don't see and tell. Anybody who remembers, please tell. If anybody remembers. What was the second chapter? Memory is very weak for all of us. Yes, Harshbu? Tell.
Prabhuji, Gita, G-I-T-A.
Correct. Perfect. Thank you. Third chapter was tree. Third was tree. Fourth,
Ear.
huh?
Ear.
Ears. E-A-R-S. Ears. Fourth was ears. Fifth, step. S-T-E, step. What was the last chapter? Sixth chapter? अरे बाप रे, देखो, see our memory. We last class was discussed the Tuesday. Easy. E-S-Y. So doubt, Gita, tree, ears, step, easy. याद रखिए 6. अब इसके जो acronyms है, we will send in the group and I told last class, but some other it will not be done. Remember this. It will be very helpful for you to remember whole Bhagavad Gita. Today we will discuss the 7th chapter and this acronym is H.E.A.D. Okay. So very interesting again, and let us read this. Okay, somebody please read this. 7th chapter, knowledge of the absolute. Yes, quickly.
Hare Krishna.
Read, Srikantu.
One second, your screen is gone. Knowledge of the absolute. Whether it's a holiday destination, the choice of university for further studies, or the restaurant for next week's party. Most things in life require some research. While we value our gut feelings, we simultaneously utilize our intelligence and exercise discrimination. The same goes for spirituality. It is not simply an emotional feeling or practice, it requires intelligent research and information gathering. It is an affair of the head and the heart. Einstein once stated that religious practice without philosophy was simply sentimental and, in more accurate situation, downright
Acute. In more acute situations.
in more acute situation, downright fanatic. In chapter 7, entitled Knowledge of the Absolute, we learn key philosophical truths which instill confidence and conviction in the path of devotion of Krishna.
Yeah, devotion to Krishna. Correct. So here Maharaj is writing that we just don't land up in doing bhakti out of just emotions. We may land up there, but we can't stay there just by using our emotions. So sometimes what happens, many people, they come to Krishna consciousness trying to get some emotional or fulfill their emotional needs. And what happens till the time their emotional needs are being taken care of, or all the time they're उनका दुखड़ा अगर सुनते रहो बस, just keep listening to their sorrow affairs in their life, how they had wake up, how they had done all nonsense things, and how, so they just want to get relief from that. And most people come for that thing, majority. But once you tell them to move ahead, to commit something to Krishna consciousness, then they start distracting from the process. So always remaining on the emotional platform will not make you advance in Krishna consciousness. Certain people, they come to temple, they see Lord, they feel very nice, emotionally connected. Oh, my Lord is there. They like hear kirtan. There is some emotional connect from here. But to advance in Krishna consciousness, Maharaj writes, requires sharper intelligence and discrimination. Actual spiritual life begins when you are able to discriminate between matter and spirit. It's very important. Because from spirit only becomes spiritual. So our emotions, our feelings, all this play a role. This plays some role in Krishna consciousness, but this will not keep you hold on for long time unless you are intelligent. Your intelligence is convinced. That's why the last part which Maharaj writes here is that this chapter will instill confidence and conviction in the path of devotion to Krishna. Very true. As we read on this, go on reading this chapter, I'll tell you how. So, even Prabhupada also told that philosophy without religion is mental speculation, and religion without philosophy is sentimentalism. So in India, the second part is more prominent. So we follow religion from our childhood, but we don't have proper philosophy. So that's why 99.9% people who are practicing the so-called bhakti or devotion, that is simply sentimentalism. Like recently I saw one video, this Kavad Yatra. So this they are going bol bam, and what nonsense things they do. So there was a group of people. This Shikshashtakam channel was also showing this thing, and they had two girls were standing there, young girls, and wearing saffron t-shirt and this thing, and they were dancing on Bollywood song, and there was cart or something like that. ऐसा उन्होंने बना रखा था डिजाइन में, उसमें लड़कियां नाच रही है और पीछे ये लोग बोल बम करके जा रहे हैं आगे. What nonsense is this? What devotion will it instill at that point of time? So the whole religion comes to the point of sense gratification, and they do all kind of things. They will eat, drink, and all nonsense things they will do there, and they will tell this is our bhakti to Lord Shiva. No, this happens when there is no philosophy. So that's why in ISKCON we first thoroughly teach people, Bhagavad Gita, NOI, NOD, Bhagavatam, all these things. So once they read those things and they understand the consequence of this thing, then they practice very nicely. And then the further results come. Otherwise, if you just stay on the emotional platform, so these emotions are temporary. Today you are feeling happy, tomorrow you will feel sad. So this shift up and down hota rahega. So it doesn't mean that your bhakti will also shift hota rahega. No. Bhakti should be constant. Ahetu ki apratihata. So this chapter talks about this very nicely, and we'll discuss one by one. So let's move on to the first series of verses, and let's discuss that. Just a minute. Yes. So this is the diagram of head. By this you can remember this chapter. Okay, very graphic. Yes, H, hearing. Read, somebody. Hearing. If we begin by hearing, studying, and understanding God in depth and detail, then the prospect of finding Him becomes a distinct possibility. He may well be closer than we think, but without the necessary information, will be completely obvious to the fact. For example, if you wanted to identify slow. Okay, sorry. For example, if you wanted to identify your father, the most practical way would be to ask your mother. You could subsequently verify by DNA test if you wanted to find out what BB7 was showing tonight. The obvious approach would be to consult a TV guide. You could subsequently verify that actually watching the programs is childish and irrational to solely depend on our sensory experiences. Accepting a higher authority, be it the mother or the TV guide, opens us opportunities to experience and understand things directly. Krishna begins this chapter by stressing the absolute necessity of hearing from spiritual sources, higher authorities, to grasp cosmic truth. This is known as descending path of knowledge. Yes. Yes. Okay. Let us read these lines once again and segregate it to understand better. So here it is told that if we begin by hearing, studying, and understanding God in depth and detail, then the prospect of finding Him becomes a distinct possibility. Okay. So the first verse which comes in the 7th chapter, it talks about, this is the verse, Sri. Okay, let me share the verse also if possible. Just a minute. Okay, I'll just tell the verse. So the first verse is this. Shri Bhagwan Vacha, Mai Asakta Mana Partha, Yogam Yunjan Madashraya, Asam Sayam Samagra Mam, Yatha Gyasyasi Tachrinu. Very important sloka. Very, very important sloka of Bhagavad Gita. And if you see the translation, the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, now hear, O son of Pritha, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. Asam Sayam Samagram Mam, without any doubt. So if you want to know a person, how he is, who is the best person who can tell? If you want to know somebody, who is the best person who can tell? That person himself. Like some of the people who may be very close to me, they may tell about me something. Okay, I'm like this or something. But I know myself to the best of amongst all the people. Correct or not? I know certain things about myself which nobody might be knowing. Even my parents might not be knowing. And people who are very close to me might not be knowing. Same with you. So that's why Krishna tells, if you want to know about me, then hear from me. You can tell that pure devotees know about Krishna. Correct. They know. But even that much they don't know what Krishna reveals to them. So Krishna reveals certain portion of him to his pure devotees. But when Krishna wants to reveal somebody about him truly, completely, the best person to approach is Krishna himself. So now Krishna is going to reveal about himself. What are his opulences, how he behaves, how he deals with the devotees, how he deals with the envious people, how he deals with the demons. Everything he will tell now from the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the Bhakti Yoga. He will deal very nicely, will tell, to inspire Arjuna or to inspire all of us to come closer to him. That's why Maharaj writes, if you hear properly, then you will come closer to him. So that's why here it tells, Yatha Gyasi Tachrinu. You can know me in full. And how? Maya Mai Asakta Mana Partha. By becoming attached to me. And Yogam Yunjan Madashraya. Even practicing yoga by taking my shelter. So if you want to know Krishna, you have to take his shelter. And that shelter will become more prominent once you start hearing him nicely. So the first thing in spiritual life comes is hearing, Sravanam. Sravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam. Sravanam. those people whose Sravanam is weak, or Sravanam is not proper, or even not from the proper sources, these people will lack enthusiasm and determination in Krishna consciousness. It's very important whom do you hear quite often. That's why in the beginning days of Krishna consciousness, we always tell people to hear Prabhupada quite often. If you hear Prabhupada repeatedly, and once you get firm conviction that this man is telling the truth or he is pure devotee of Lord, then afterwards, no matter you hear whomsoever, in that case, your conviction will remain strong. But now, because of these YouTube things, we are hearing from many people. And sometimes in the name of hearing, we are not hearing Krishna conscious things. Sometimes even ISKCON speakers also, they may be in ISKCON, but they are not telling directly about Krishna in the name of bridge preaching and all. We are not supposed to hear that. If we want to practice pure devotional service, we may not criticize them, or we don't want to unnecessarily ridicule anybody, but our stuff should come purely Krishna conscious. So there are many speakers, nowadays it is increasing. More and more people are coming up. Those who are simply trying to speak about motivational thing, or how to balance life, how to be happy, how can we be happy in this world? Krishna told this Dukkha Sasutam. So I don't understand this thing. How can somebody say that you can be happy in this world? We can't. It's a lie. In one side, it's a lie. Krishna is telling you can't be happy in this world, and this devotee of Krishna is telling you can be happy in this world. This is contradictory. But yes, we can be happy. Even Prabhupada told, why? Once we take shelter of Krishna. That's Krishna tells. So if I tell that you take shelter of Krishna and then you be happy, that's what Krishna is telling. But if I tell somebody that you can be happy without Krishna, it's a plain lie. It's a lie. So we should be little careful. We should be little careful, So, okay, you may tell that, Prabhuji, their audience might be different and they are targeting different things. We are not supposed to get targeted by these things. So now, like, one devotee came to me and told, from last 10 days, he's telling me, Prabhuji, I am going to attend one seminar, which is on Anarthas, uprooting Anarthas. Today morning, he met me, he told me, Prabhuji, I attended a seminar and some very senior devotee spoke that. Very nice, very good. Then I told Prabhuji, your Anarthas are gone. Then he told, Arre Prabhuji, wo jaane ke thodi tha, wo to sunne ke liye tha. But then I told you, this is the point. It's very nice you heard it. But how much have you applied these points in your life? And how much are you really... Because somehow that this devotee criticizes everybody else. That's why I taunt kiya maine usko ek baar. My friend hai to bol ke main taunting mar diya. Mala Prabhu. So first we have... It's not that I'm telling, even I am also... hum bhi anartha se bhare pade hain. It's not like that. But I'm telling the point that we hear so many things from so many sources, so many things. ऐसा कई लोग तो घंटों सुनते रहेंगे. But when it comes to the practice of Krishna consciousness, they all become dumb completely. You see, their genuine practice in their life doesn't come up. That surrender doesn't come to Krishna, commitment doesn't come to Krishna, commitment to Guru doesn't come. But they will tell that, oh, I am hearing a lot. I'm hearing. Somehow that hearing is not penetrating your heart. So that hearing which is not penetrating your heart and not bringing closer to Krishna, it's simply materialistic hearing. It's of no worth to a devotee. It's of no worth to a devotee. So sometimes even I also tried. Like sometimes when we are not in that state of Krishna consciousness, so we start hearing. Like I used to, during election time, I'm admitting I was hearing our Prime Minister's podcast. That was very inspiring. He was the way he was telling, and he would give podcasts to different channels, news channels. So that why I was hearing to get some leadership qualities, how to manage, how to do that something. But I'm telling you honestly, the more I heard it, the more you can say that unpeaceful I became, or the more restless I became. Because then desire had come into my mind that I should have joined politics. I should have become some leader somewhere and doing all these things. This desire will come, 100% will come. Because I'm hearing that person and उसका जो frequency वो मैं catch कर रहा हूँ, तो मेरे अंदर फिर वैसा बनने का desire आएगा. And then when I heard Prabhupada, then desire came to me, what is there in this world? Sab छोड़ो, I should become like Goswami. I should become like Rupa Goswami Sanatana. ऐसा. So the kind of person you are hearing and which frequency he is going through, you will catch that only. You will desire to become that only. Like all of us, we became brahmacharis because we heard Radheshampu a lot. Lot means lot. We heard every day we are hearing. Nowadays, every day, all of you are also hearing Japa talk, Prabhuji. So his intensity of bhakti and his brahmachari life है इतना हमारे दिमाग में बैठ गया था वो चीज ना कि मतलब अब उससे नीचे हम लोग सोच ही सकते थे. So that helped us a lot to dedicate life and to become brahmachari. So if you are hearing a grahastha constantly and you want to become brahmachari, will not be possible. It will not be possible. And otherwise also, you are hearing too much brahmachari, you want to become grahastha, then also problem. It will be difficult because you are catching his frequency. So that's why whom are you hearing and whom? And first of all, we are hearing our mind only. Although we may be hearing somebody, but actually we are hearing our mind. Because whenever we hear even some lecture, we have a preconceived notion. हम अपने माइंड पे एक लेयर बना के बैठते हैं कि मेरे को यही चीज सुनना है, और जो चीज सुनना चाहिए था वो नहीं सुन करके हम लोग वही चीज सुनते हैं जो हमारे माइंड को सुनना है. करेक्ट. और हम उसको फॉलो करते हैं और हम फिर क्या बोलते हैं, तो आई एम फॉलोइंग माय अथॉरिटी. तो आई एम फॉलोइंग. लाइक आई गिव एन एग्जांपल ना. So one counseling, one brahmachari devotee, so he told me that, Prabhuji, this particular devotee is my everything. If he tells me anything, I'll follow 100%. I will not think about it. But then a certain situation came when that devotee, his senior told him something which was not palatable to his desire. Then I asked, Prabhuji, he has told you to do that. Do not. No. I have to think. I think this person is not the right authority for me. I choose another one. Then I told, this is problem. You are rascal number one. Why? Because you are hearing your mind much more. So then we have a pendulum. So we will shift. अभी ये डिवोटी भी मेरे को सेंसिटिव दे रहा है, मजा आ रहा है, बढ़िया. जिस दिन ये रोका, चलो इधर आ जाओ, चलो इधर, ऐसे घूमते रहेंगे हम लोग. So there are many devotees in ISKCON like this. They are roaming here, there, this temple. Finally, they have no authority. Their only authority is their mind. So, and there is another flip to this side. They will accept a certain authority who will tell nothing to them. An online authority. So, like for example, certain people, they would be hearing, for example, maybe Amoglia Prabhu or some senior speaker in some remote area. So which they will never meet this personality. Like Amogla Prabhu, he will come once in a year and give this. But so then when we tell Prabhu, whom are you following? Oh, I am following Amogla Prabhuji. Very nice. But does he know what are we doing? No, how will he know Prabhuji? He has thousands of boys. How he will know about me? So then, who is your authority? How can he be your authority? If he doesn't know that what are you doing, what is your status in Krishna consciousness, how can he be authority? Actually, he is not authority. He is just a Garo authority. Authority is my mind. My mind is my authority, and I have put Amogla Prabhu on that mind, so that rest devotees cannot touch me. So other devotees cannot touch me. They will think that he is already following somebody. And there are many people like this. Actually, they are cheating themselves. So for them, the growth in Krishna consciousness will be very, very little, or instead very slow, very slow. So when Krishna is saying hearing means surrendering. You are hearing somebody, trying to follow somebody, then surrender. Even if it takes to go against your will, your desire. If you are ready for that, then it's actually called hearing. So when we tell Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chitte Te Koriyakya, Guru Mukha Padma Vakya. So my only desire is to have my consciousness purified by the transcendental words emanating from the mouth of my Guru. This is the meaning of this line. Chittate Koriyakya. So how can you hear Guru and follow? If you don't have love and attachment for this personality, even if he tells you many things, you will not follow. You will not follow. So that's why I was hearing somewhere, there are three kinds of people. First class person, he understands a thing simply by hearing. Second class person, he understands the thing by hearing and observing. Sunta bhi hai, dekhta bhi hai. The third class person, he understands the thing by experience. I think Sharanagati was only telling me this, one of his snippet on one of his short video. So he tells that, like, we hear many times or we read from Bhagavad Gita, this material world is miserable. But how do we consider it? We just close the book and then again start searching happiness. Just now we read, Hare, this Dukhara Masasata, very difficult. This Bhav Sagar. And thoda band kiya, abhi aaj main reading karunga. Then the next moment, there is great energy in us, passion to try to find out where is happiness, where is sense getting, where is happiness. And then we get the kick of Maya. Then we become miserable, then we are, oh, Gita mein padha tha miserable. So that's why what Krishna tells in 5th chapter, he tells that Ramate na Buddha. He tells that when a senses comes in the contact with sense object, what is the Dukkhayona evate? Adi antamanta tu konte nato su Ramate Buddha. So as soon as the senses will come in contact with the sense object, there will be misery. There will be misery. We hear, we read. One more thing. Dhyayato visayam pumsa sangasya supajayate. Don't meditate on sense gratification. Don't meditate on women. You will fall into trap of lust and then suffer badly. We read so many times, but again then we start meditating. We keep meditating on women, or we keep meditating on sense gratification. We keep creating hallucinatory world of our own imagination, where we create our own enjoyment secretly inside our heart. And then what happened? Sangaste supajayate, attachment comes, then lust comes, then anger comes. All these things follows. Because we don't follow, including me. And many times I realize that I read so many times this thing, but still I'm doing the same mistake. So Shravanam means actually surrendering to the person we are hearing. So when we're hearing Krishna, we have to surrender to his statements. What he told, that's what I follow. That's what I follow. If you're not able to follow that, then there is no meaning of hearing. That is simply, showcase. Like so many people, they come, they hear, and what happened to them? Like in temple, Bhagavatam goes on. So many people, they come, they sit, they hear. Abhi jo Bhagavad Katha chalti hai. What happens to these people? 7 days they hear 3 hours Katha. Just imagine, 1 week, 21 hours they have heard somebody. Now to hum mein se koi nahi sunta hoga. Anybody of you here who hear 21 hours in a week? Impossible. Impossible. But they hear 21 hours a week, 7 days. But उनके जीवन में ज्यों से तो नहीं होता है. Same habit they keep continuing throughout their life. चाय तक नहीं छोड़ पाते वो लोग. सोचो आप. Why? Why it is so? Because that Shravanam is just for the sake of, probably you know this katha. Who are selling Lokanmar or selling this Sunday, this class. Not that there's Gokarna. So this Gokarna had a brother, Dhundukari. And somehow this Dhundukari, he fell into very bad habits and very, he was like a Jamila. He was doing all nonsense things, prostitution and everything. So he became host. And Gokarna, he became a great saintly person. And so then one day this Dhundukari comes. There is a long story, but I'm just telling the main point. One day Dhundukari comes and tells to Gokarna that, my dear brother, you are a great saintly person. And I have heard that if somebody recites Srimad Bhagavatam, some great saintly person, then by hearing it, one can be liberated. So please liberate me. Please help me. I am suffering a lot in this ghostly body. So then Dhundukari, so Gokanda, okay, my dear brother, I tell him, no problem. Just day after tomorrow, one of my katha is starting in one village. And I invite you, you come and you remain in one bamboo. That's why you go to any Bhagavad Katha, they bamboo गाड़ते हैं. There was one bamboo and there was 7 knot. तो जो सप्ताह जो कथा होता है ना 7 दिन का, वो यहीं से शुरू होता है. तो 7 गांठ बांधते हैं वो बैम्बू में, and every day they open one knot. एक knot खुलता है. So Dhundukari was seated in that bamboo with 7 knots and he was reciting katha. Every day one knot was opening on its own. And after 7 days got over, so one airplane comes from Vaikuntha. And the Lord's Parsad, they came, associates, they came and they told, Dhundukari, you are liberated. Come with us. You are fit to go back to Godhead. So then all this thing was seen by Gokarna. Other audience were not seen. And Gokarna, then they told Gokarna that if Mahasaya, if you also want to come, you can come, because you spoke the katha and he heard it. Then Gokarna told, Hare, so many people, houseful chal raha tha pura katha. Thousands and thousands of people are coming. What about them? How can I go alone? Because they were my real srotas. So they told, no, this comes in Bhagavad Mahatmya, this whole story. And they tell that, no. Actually, the way your brother heard, Dhundukari heard, none of these people heard like that. Even though they were hearing you, but they were thinking of their buffaloes, their उनके गाय भैंस, उनके घर परिवार और अपना खेत बाड़ी, ये लोग पूरा कथा वही सुनते थे. खाली आपका कथा सुन रहे थे, बट ये लोग वही चर्चा कर रहे थे, मतलब इनके मन में वही चल रहा था. But this man Dhundukari, he heard with such rapt attention that he could untie the knot in his heart, and he has become completely purified by that hearing. That is called Sravanam. So then Gokarna told, wait, okay, you take this fellow, Dhundukari, but I will tell another one katha, and in that, all these village people, I will tell them to hear attentively, you have to come and take them also. Then he does another katha, and he said that, then he told previously, Hare Baba, hear it very, very attentively. And then they all heard, then they all went back to Godhead. So the point is that that kind of hearing is required. Very rapt attention. And ready to follow. Like Prabhupada disciples, they were just ready to follow what Prabhupada is telling. Like in one meeting, Srila Prabhupada was describing the glories of book distribution. And he told in that meeting, anybody here, if anybody helps me in the book distribution, I will take them back to Godhead. This is the best service you can do for me. And then when Prabhupada declared, does anybody here who want to help in book distribution? 3-4 devotees there, they raised their hands. And they told Prabhupada, I promise here that till my last breath, I'll keep distributing book. Till now they're distributing book. Like our Vaisasika Prabhu, there are many devotees like this. They have taken vow that every day I will distribute some book, every day. And till the last breath, they kept doing this service. Many devotees, they kept the promise, even after Prabhupada left this world. This is actual hearing. So your hearing, be ready to take some commitment, to surrender, to follow. That is called actually hearing. So when we read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, we have to read with that urgency. And actually Prabhupada books are like that. They create that urgency. But most and quite often our reading is simply, just time pass ban gaya tha. Just we are reading, but we are not actually reading. And we are not grasping anything. Then people tell Prabhu it's very boring. Or I think about the boring, but about that Prabhu, I'm not able to remember anything. I'm not understanding anything. Too philosophical. We know. Actually, your mood is not proper to read proper books. You don't have a desperate liking or that spirit to read proper books and get there. Because somehow or other, even we are not sufficiently frustrated from this world. So when we are too frustrated and we really want to get out, then we'll find something. So now when we are reading, okay, ठीक है तो आप पढ़ लेते चलेगा क्या है? Or sometimes we just read, okay, we class में बोल देंगे point. Yeah. But the genuine reading habit is a very must for a sadhaka. Very, very important. And hearing from Prabhupada or one spiritual master and trying to understand, apply that in their life and follow those principles and grow in Krishna consciousness. That sincere desire, tatrapi lolya megamulyam, that is required. Otherwise, spiritual life will grow, but very slowly, and and then a lot of weeds will also grow with that spiritual thing. A lot of weeds also grow simultaneously. Okay, so this was on the point of hearing. Let us see if I missed something from this. Okay, so then Maharaj said, accepting a higher authority, be it mother or the teeny guide, opens up opportunities to experience and understand things directly. I told the same thing, surrendering to an authority. Okay, yeah, and this is called a descending path of knowledge. So there is called as Aroha Pantha, Avaroha Pantha. One is called ascending knowledge, which is scientific, which is research word, and descending knowledge is Evam Parampara Praptam, getting the knowledge from the authorities, from sources. So ours is a descending knowledge, hearing from Parampara. Okay, let's read the second one. Yeah, read somebody everywhere. E is for everywhere. Any online devotee?
E. Everywhere. Verse number 4 to 12. By hearing from authorized spiritual sources, one can acquire absolute knowledge of divinity. Krishna cites the beautiful analogy of
One second. Yeah.
beautiful analogy of a pearl necklace. The pearls are fixed in perfect pattern, arranged as a beautiful necklace. Though the thread, the essential binding factor, remains completely invisible. Similarly, God designs, creates, and sustains the complex workings of the universe, yet remains invisible to the immature observer. The extreme intricacy and sophistication of the creation, however, naturally indicates the existence of higher intelligence. Krishna further explains how he is also the essence of everything within creation, the taste of water, the light of the sun, and the ability in the man. Though through the eyes of knowledge one can learn to see God everywhere, as the source of creation and also within the creation.
Yeah, correct. So this particular section tells about these famous verses where Krishna tells Rasoham Apsu Kaunteya, Prabhashta Suryo, all these things. I am the taste of water. I am the fragrance in the earth. I am the because the heat of the fire. So all these things Krishna tells that. So that's why, and then one sloka he tells, Matta Parataram Nanyat Kinchit Asti Dhananjaya Mai Sarvam Idam Protam Sutre Maniganaiva. So I am like the thread in that necklace. सुत्ते मणि गनाइवा, जिसके ऊपर मणि गना गया. तो ये मणि सब क्या है? ये सब wonders of the world है. So, but there is nothing superior to me. The wise who knows this, he worships me, he surrenders to me. And then Maharaj said one point that to an immature observer, he is invisible. So although we are observing things around us, but because we are immature, we can't see. Yesterday in this movie, we saw when Prahlad Maharaj, of course, some of them I have not seen, but still, very beautiful point there. So when Lord asks him, what do you want? So he tells, oh Lord, let me not forget you for any moment. Then as soon as he comes down, everywhere he sees Vishnu. The most very beautiful scene was that everywhere he's seeing tree, Vishnu. Any animal, Vishnu. Even demon is seeing Vishnu. Just see that consciousness. That is what Chaitanya told. स्थावर जंगम देखे ना देखे तारा मूर्ति, सर्वत्र स्फुरत हो इष्ट मूर्ति. So स्थावर जंगम, he sees anything animate or inanimate object, or a living thing or a dead thing. ये think ना देखे तारा मूर्ति, सर्वत्र हो इष्ट स्फूर्ति. तो इष्ट, अपने इष्ट देव का स्फुरत होता है, जहां भी देखता है वो भगवान को देखता है वो. This is actual Krishna consciousness, where he tells in the heart of every humanity he can see Krishna. He can see Krishna. And Krishna is sitting in his heart. That is the point. And Krishna is guiding everybody. Like just now I met one person. So this Sunday, somehow or other he was very frustrated. And what happened? So he just took his car and he told, I'll go somewhere. घर से निकल गया वो. And he came to ISKCON temple. And he was knowing here somebody. So he told Prabhu, you just come to our class there. And so he told, when is the class time? And he told 7:30. So at that time we give class for new people. So then he at that time it was 6 o'clock. He told, अरे 1.5 घंटा मैं क्या करूँगा, पर वापस जाता हूँ. So he was telling me that he went to some place and he just sat in one chair in our ISKCON temple only. And when he saw the watch, it was almost 7:20. He told, "Arey, what happened?" He might have slept or he might be doing something YouTube and all. But he was disturbed. And then he came at 7:30 and he sat. And then some other, I was speaking about Narayanastra, which Krishna, he actually Ashwathama, when our Dronacharya was killed. So Ashwathama released Narayanastra on Pandavas. So Narayanastra is such an astra that if you hit him one arrow, that astra, it will rebound 10 arrows. Nobody can defeat it. That such a weapon is that. Nobody can defeat it. So then all Pandavas, they were in great difficulty what to do now. Wholesale killing कर रहा है वो. जितने भी आर्मी लोग उनको मार रहे हैं, एक मार रहे थे, 10 ठो उसको मार दे रहा वापस से, और उस पर कुछ काम नहीं कर रहा. So they took shelter of Krishna. They asked Krishna what to do. Krishna tells, "Arey, you are Narayan himself. You are Narayan. This is your astra. You only tell how to stop it." So then Krishna tells that there's only one way to stop it. Every one of you leave your weapon, come down off a chariot and bow down to this astra. Just become humble. Don't fight back. If you fight back, then it will release 10 times more than what you are releasing. So everybody agreed except him. He told, "What is this? This is cowardliness. मेरे पास 10,000 हाथी का है, ये है. मैं नहीं उतरूंगा चैरिट से." एक योद्धा को चैरिट से उतरना मतलब अपमान है उसके लिए. ये बाय बोलने लगा. I told, "अरे बाबा, Krishna धीरे धीरे, we just do it." He told, "No, मैं मेरा गदा फेंक के इसको खत्म कर दूंगा." ऐसा गदा फेंका, वो ऐसा 10 ठो आया, तो फिर उससे सुधर कर निकल गया नारायण से. भीम के एकदम पास आ गया. तो कृष्ण ने बोला कि अरे भैया, मैं आपसे हाथ जोड़ के विनती करता हूँ, प्लीज उतरो, चैट से उतरो, अपना गदा छोड़ो और हाथ जोड़ लो. तो फिर डर के उन्होंने भी किया ऐसा, चला गया. नारायण अस्त्र पूरा खत्म, पूरा शांत हो गया. So this thing I was telling there. And this man today told, Prabhuji, when you were speaking this thing, I thought every single word was for me. I was doing something similar in my life. And I thought, how could you know my situation? I told her, I don't know your situation, but everybody in that situation only. Because some other problem is there in everybody's life. So then he was so grateful, told, Prabhuji, I can't tell you what I felt at that time. And how Krishna brought me from my home to hear this thing and find solution in life. So like this, a lot of things keep happening in our life. Also, you also might be experiencing many things where we get faith that Super Soul is there. Paramatma is working. Although we may not understand, we may not see because we are immature observer. But there is Paramatma. He is seeing the whole thing. And and he is Sutra Maniganaiva. So our only job is to have full faith on that Paramatma. Maam ekam sarnam raja. Just surrender. Just surrender. You read proper translation. Because Just surrender. So I had great difficulty in my life, in the initial Krishna was life, because my first class, what I heard is ISKCON. The first class was this verse, just surrender. And I told, how can we just surrender? And I was thinking at that time, why to just surrender without asking anything, without this, that, what is this? They're telling us just to surrender. But then I realized this is the only way. Just surrender to Krishna and his devotees. Path becomes very easy, very peaceful. You want to fight back? Want to fight with Maya? Try it out. You do one thing, 10 things will come to you. You try to solve one problem, 10 problems are waiting for you. जस्ट आप एक प्रॉब्लम का एक गांठ आप खोलोगे और पूरा बढ़ जाएगा, 10 प्रॉब्लम की सब पूरी लाइन लग जाएगी आपके जीवन में. देखो करके जितने भी लोग इस संसार में माया से फाइट बैक करने का प्रयास किए, यही हाल हुआ है और अंत में मर के जाएंगे. अंत में जो है वो हार मान के they lose their body and go. So this is how, Krishna tells it, Sutra Manigrama, I am in control of everything. So when we hear this or when we read this in Bhagavad Gita, we must have faith. Krishna is in full control. Let me surrender to him. Although the situation today may be very, very opposite to my Krishna consciousness, doesn't matter. I will not stop my Krishna consciousness. I will keep going. Things, दुनिया इधर की उधर हो जाए, doesn't matter. I will keep going. आप देखोगे इधर की उधर होके वापस सही की हो जाएगी. But we are on our path, going on. Then only we can stay firm in this path. Otherwise, those people who think that, oh, I can solve the problem, I can do my things, I can adjust, I can, with my own little brain, I can adjust my situation. I'm too smart, I'm too smart, and also I am a devotee. So I am a smart boy, and also I'm a devotee, so Krishna will also help my smartness. Somehow this is the way we think, I think. Correct or not? I'm too smart, and Krishna will help me because I'm smart. But no, Krishna tells, you first surrender, then I will make you smart. Correct or not? So then Krishna tells, I am more smarter than you. So what is my plan? You accept it, and then you also become smart. But we want other way. I'm smart. Yes, Krishna is smarter, but I'm smart, and Krishna will help because I'm smart. But no, it doesn't work like this. So you have to surrender. Some other. You surrender now to Krishna, or tomorrow you will surrender to your wife. If not wife, then your children. If not children, then your grandchildren. If not, then you will surrender to your old age, and ultimately you will surrender to death. You have to surrender. Better to surrender to Krishna right now. Even with your wife. Let both surrender. So, in future, I'm telling, it's a very easy thing. In a sense, life will become very easy. Just having faith on Krishna, Prabhupada, going on. Trouble will be everywhere, will be there. Go on practicing, and then let to him only. Whatever he does, that's good. So this faith we have to develop. And when you develop this faith and move forward in Krishna consciousness, you see that many new paths Krishna will open for us. Actually, Krishna has kept a lot of jewels for us, hidden jewels in terms of realization, good association, great, we can say that revelations of Krishna consciousness. These jewels will keep coming in life if we keep the process of surrendering process very smooth. Otherwise, it's going to be very tough. Life is not so easy moving forward. Okay, so we discussed these two sections today. If anybody has got any doubt or any comment, you tell me. I think I covered this necklace and all. So he tells, through the eyes of knowledge, one can learn to see God everywhere as the source of creation and also within the creation. Krishna is the source of creation, and Krishna is within the creation. So within the creation you can find Krishna, but you have to see through the Gyan Chakshu, Jnananjana Salakaya, with the eyes of knowledge that we can understand. All right. Any question by anybody? Well, हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी। प्रभु जी जो आपने स्टोरी बताई थी जिसमें जो है भागवतम के 7 डेज का जो प्रवचन था, उसके बाद जो है उनका जो है ना लिबरेशन हो गया। बट सिर्फ उन्होंने जो है शार्पली और पूरे अटेंटिवली लेक्चर अटेंड किया, इसकी वजह से उनका लिबरेशन हुआ। लेकिन बाकी लोग जो है, जैसे हम लोग भी, भले हम लेक्चर में रहते हैं आपके लेक्चर में या फिर साधु सन्यासियों के लेक्चर में, फिर भी हमारा माइंड जो है इधर उधर घूमता रहता है। तो ऐसा कौन सा एक्सरसाइज होता है, या फिर हम कैसे और ज्यादा अटेंटिवली हम कोई
So how to become more attentive in listening to this? This only happen when you have great urgency. Suppose अभी आपका रिजल्ट निकलने वाला है कोई एग्जाम का, और जिसमें आपको बहुत श्योरिटी कि नहीं ये तो मेरा होना ही है, तो हम कितना अटेंटिवली उसको सुनते हैं और देखते हैं कोई भी चीज, है कि नहीं है? या आप देखो, जैसे आप मान लीजिए आपके पेरेंट्स बीमार है या कुछ ऐसा है, और आप डॉक्टर के पास बैठे हो और डॉक्टर आपको कुछ तरीका बता रहा है कि ये से ठीक हुआ, आप उस समय क्या माइंड को करते हो? यू लिसन सो अटेंटिवली। व्हाई? बिकॉज इट्स गोइंग टू बी लाइफ सेविंग फॉर यू। जब डॉक्टर दवाई बताता है, जैसे मान लीजिए like when I go to hospital to take my mother, this doctor, he needs just 1-2 minutes and he takes 4,000 per consultancy. मुंबई में तो ये रेट है। तो हम 4,000 रुपए दे करके उस आदमी से 5 मिनट मिलने गए हैं, तो जो एक एक शब्द वो बोलता है ना, हम ऐसे सुनते हैं जैसे मतलब कोई मिस ना हो जाए, क्योंकि दोबारा आएंगे और फिर 4,000 रुपए लेगा, है कि नहीं? दोबारा आएंगे तो फिर, और एक बार निकल गए, एंड टू मीट दिस डॉक्टर इट टेक्स अस 5 आवर्स। 5 घंटा बैठते हैं तब उससे मिलने मिलता है 5 मिनट के लिए। ऐसा हाल है, मर क्या करें, मजबूरी है। तो उस समय अगर उस समय मान लो मिस कर गया, उसको गया, तो हम सारा मोबाइल ऑफ करके एकदम बैठते हैं कि अभी क्या बोलने वाला है, ये सुन लो एकदम इसकी बातें। उसकी वैल्यू है ना वो चीज। सेम वे सोचो, तो एक डॉक्टर है खाली बॉडी का वो ट्रीटमेंट कर रहा है, हम तो यहाँ मरण जिंदगी और मौत का से खेल रहे हैं। सोचिए आइडियल में कितना सिंसियर होना चाहिए। बट वही तो माया का खेल है ना। माया करती क्या है, हम लोग पर एक पर्दा डाल देती है और हमको लगता है चलेगा ना, क्या फर्क पड़ता है। बहुत लेक्चर सुन रहे हैं हम लोग, बहुत ये कर रहे हैं। तो जैसे आई हैव सीन मैनी टाइम, अभी डिवोटीज को जब व्हेन आई गिव लेक्चर्स, सो जैसे अभी कल ही कोई एक फैमिली आई मेरे को बोली कि प्रभु जी आपने जो लास्ट लेक्चर दिया ना, एग्जैक्टली वैसा ही हो रहा है जो हो रहा है। मतलब माता जी मैं भी 15 साल से सब देख के जानता हूँ, मैं बता रहा हूँ आपको चीजों को। तो मैं बोला कि मैं जो भी लेक्चर देता हूँ ना, आप उसको सुनिए ध्यान से, आप उसको दोबारा आके सुनिए, आपको समझ में आएगा। लेकिन क्या लोग सुनते नहीं है ध्यान से, फिर जब वो समस्या आती है तब वो आके सॉल्यूशन मांगते हैं कि अभी अब क्या करें, जबकि वो सब बताया गया आपको ऑलरेडी, शास्त्र में सारी बातें बताएगी। इसलिए हम क्यों किसी एक्सपीरियंस्ड पर्सन से सुनते हैं? क्योंकि वो आदमी उस चीज को जी के आ रहा है, उस चीज को देखते हुए आ रहा है। बट सम पीपल थिंक दैट कि लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल, अभी आजकल लोग क्लासरूम में नहीं पढ़ते, वो क्या सोचते हैं हम बुक से पढ़ लें जाकर के। पर आप जाके राइट बुक से पढ़िए, आपको कुछ नहीं समझ में आएगा, समझ ना। तो इसीलिए ऑल्दो सेम भगवत गीता है, बट आपको एक एक्सपीरियंस व्यक्ति बता रहा है और आप अपने से पढ़ रहे हो, उसमें जमीन आसमान का अंतर है। तो इसीलिए क्या कि रैपिड कब आएगा, जब अर्जेंसी आएगी कि मुझे भक्ति प्रैक्टिस करना है, कि मुझे मेरा दिन रात मेरा हृदय जल रहा है काम क्रोध लोभ में, आई एम बर्निंग इन माई हार्ट, वेयर इज सॉल्यूशन? द सॉल्यूशन इज श्रवणम। तब जाके आपके अंदर अर्जेंसी आएगी। या तो बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग डिजायर है बैक टू गॉड जाने का, बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग डिजायर है भगवान से मिलने का, तब आप सुनोगे वैसे अरे क्या बोल रहे हैं क्या। अदरवाइज बहुत मुश्किल है, क्योंकि हमारा माइंड जो है ना वो सुनने नहीं देगा हम लोग को। वो बोलता है कि व्हाई टू हियर दिस पर्सन, आई नो एवरीथिंग, आई एम चैंटिंग, आई एम रीडिंग, आई एम डूइंग माई ओन भक्ति, आई एम गोइंग बैक टू गॉड, डोंट वरी। माइंड बोलता है आई टेक बैक टू गॉड, नीड नॉट लिसन टू दिस पर्सन। तो इसलिए दुनिया में भी सबसे बड़ी कमी है, लोग सुनना नहीं चाहते किसी का, वो अपना मन का करना चाहते हैं। हम सबके साथ यही प्रॉब्लम है। और जब तक हम अपने मन के रथ में बैठ के घूमते रहेंगे, तब तक हम लोग एक्चुअली कृष्णा मासी को टेस्ट नहीं कर पाएंगे, नहीं कर पाएंगे। हम लोग बार बार उसी ट्रैप में फंसते जाएंगे, फिर थोड़ा हम लोग उठ के निकलेंगे, फिर फंसेंगे, फिर निकलेंगे, फिर फंसते जाएंगे। सरेंडर मीन्स जो बोला वो करो, फिर दूसरा देखिए, प्रभुपाद जी के जीवन आप देखोगे, अभी प्रभुपाद जी को देख लो ना, कैसे सुनते थे अपने गुरु महाराज। 2 इंस्ट्रक्शन दिया, पूरा जीवन लगा दिया वो उसको फॉलो करने में, है कि नहीं? पूरा जीवन लगा दिया। अगर आज प्रभुपाद जी नहीं भी करते हो, कोई था देखने वाला? क्या दरकार थी उनको 44 ईयर्स बाद जा करके वहां जाने की, अमेरिका जाने की? बट गुरु ने कहा था। ऐसे आप देखो ना, गोपाल समाज को मैं देखा, जो जो चीज प्रभुपाद जी ने बोला, एक एक चीज को फॉलो करते गए। ऐसे कई एग्जाम्पल है प्रभुपाद जी के, बाप रे बाप, मानना पड़ेगा इन लोगों को। एक प्रभुपाद जी के मुंह से निकला था, लाइक फॉर एग्जाम्पल अमरीश को आप देख रहे हो अभी, टीओपी, वो एक मीटिंग में प्रभुपाद जी ने बोला था, आई वांट यू टू बिल्ड दिस डैम टेंपल। देखो, पूरा जीवन कमाई लगा दिया उन्होंने भी। अभी उनको अटैक आ गया था अभी 2 दिन पहले। तो मानना पड़ेगा ना, 50 साल बाद प्रभुपाद जी को भी जाने 50 साल होने आ रहा है, तब भी वो इंस्ट्रक्शन को याद करके फॉलो कर रहे हैं लोग। ये होता है श्रवणम, ये होता है श्रवणम। इसलिए मैं भी लिख के रखा हूं अपना, जो जो मुझे महाराज बोले, एक एक अलग अलग पॉइंट पे। ऐसे कुछ 5-6 चीजें हैं जो महाराज मुझे मतलब अलग अलग जगह पे मुझे बोले हैं, ये करना, ये करना, ऐसे करना, मैं सबको लिख के रखा हूं। हम लोग वो सबको प्रयास करता हूँ कि मतलब वो मैं करता जाऊं लाइफ लॉन्ग तक, क्योंकि वही हम सीखे हैं। गुरु मुख पद्मा के चित्त को याद किया, गुरु महाराज ने क्या बोला था, जो बोला है वो करोगे, वही इंस्ट्रक्शन है। और थोड़ी कोई स्पेशल आपके सपने में आएंगे, महाराज बोलेंगे वत्स मैं चाहता हूं कि तुम ये करो वो करो, जरूरी है। महाराज जैसे हृदय महाराज ने बोला, you should sing for the pleasure of Lord. That instruction. Now whole life he should do that. He do that. I'm successful. Told me preach. One point he told me preach. One player. I said Hridaya Guru है online. Said one point he told me never marry. So that point has become now in my mind. It rings. Even if somehow I get I should marry, but he told me never marry. I don't know how much I will follow, but that's an instruction. वैसे 3-4 चीजें है ना बोला उन्होंने, तो ये चीज आप पकड़ के रखो कि क्या आपको बोला जा रहा है। Now it can come through, it can sometimes come through your counselor's mouth, sometimes it can come through the person whom you follow or your spiritual master's mouth, but then keep following. तो बोल दिया वो करते जाओ, उसी में आपको सारा चीज उतर के आ जाएगा इंस्ट्रक्शन में। But there are people उनको 10 बार बोलते जाओ, वो चीज को समझते नहीं है। Then what the person thinks, अरे ये क्या, ये कुछ फॉलो कर रहा नहीं, छोड़ो, you lose the mercy there.
प्रभु जी, मतलब हम श्रवणम में हमारी रुचि इसलिए नहीं बढ़ रही बिकॉज हम जो सीनियर से या जो भी इंस्ट्रक्शन हमें मिल रहे हैं उसमें अच्छे से,
हाँ, ये भी कारण है, ये भी कारण है कि जो हमें इंस्ट्रक्शन मिल रहा है, जो हमें सेवा के लिए बोला जा रहा है, हम वहाँ एंडेवर नहीं कर रहे, या हम तो हाँ हम नेग्लेक्ट कर रहे हैं उसको, हम सिंसियरिटी दिखा नहीं रहे उसमें। सी मैं अगेन मैं बता रहा हूँ कि एकम्प्लिश करना कोई जरूरी चीज नहीं है, क्या एकम्प्लिश हो कि नहीं हो, इवन आप एंडेवर भी करो उसको फॉलो करने का तो मर्सी आ जाएगी, फिर पाथ इजी बन जाता है। लाइक अभी महाराज ने हमको कहा तुम खारघर में आके सेवा करो, हम लोग को क्या कुछ नहीं आता भैया, हम येलो में थे, हम लोग उसमें नथिंग वी न्यू, but we just came and stayed here. Now everything is coming, we can see everything, सब कुछ खुल खुल के आ रहा है हमारे सामने। वो सब वो एक ही चीज का, हमको सब लोग ये बोलते हैं कि आपने खाली एक ही काम किया कि महाराज ने बोला आप आके बैठ गए यहाँ पर, तो वो ही चीज होता है, यही सटली काम करता है। बट लोग सोचते हैं दे आर वेरी स्मार्ट, लोग सोचते हैं कि क्या है, तो कुछ बोलते रहते हैं ये लोग, खाली ऐसे ही बोलते रहते हैं। अरे वो ऐसे उनके बोलने में भी आप भगवान आपको बोल रहे हैं ऐसा समझो, भगवान के तरीके से आपको चलना चाहिए। अभी तो गुरु मुख का पद्मा क्या, अब गुरु किससे बोलेंगे, अभी आपके गुरु आपको किससे तो बोलेंगे, काउंसलर के तो बोलेंगे ना, बोलेंगे ना, यू नो। अभी समटाइम अभी कभी कभी हमारे साथ होता है, अभी हम इतने लोग गाइड कर रहे हैं, तो समटाइम मैंने टेल समथिंग इवन आई डोंट नो व्हाई आई टोल्ड हिम दिस थिंग, बिकॉज़ दिस परमात्मा सिटिंग इनसाइड हार्ट, ही नोज, वो मैं इसमें आई एम नॉट इंपॉर्टेंट, बट वो जो होल कॉस्मिक मैनिफेस्टेशन जो परमात्मा चला रहे हैं, वो परमात्मा सबके हार्ट को देख रहे हैं, वो आपके से बैठे, मेरे बैठे, इनके बैठे, सबके बैठे, और वो जानते हैं कि इसको क्या कराना है, तो किसी को तो माध्यम बनाएंगे ना कराने के लिए। वो जैसे मैंने आपको एग्जांपल दिया ना, वो आदमी को बुलवाना था, तो कैसे वो इस्कॉन आया, 7:30 में क्लास बैठ गया और देखो मेरे मुंह से बुलवा दिए। और आप एक ही नहीं मानोगे, वो एग्जाम्पल मैं जस्ट इंस्टेंट मेरे को याद आया, कोई पर्टिकुलर चीज में मैंने वो कथा बोल दी कि नारायण दस, मैं खुद प्रिपेयर तो थोड़ी किया था। इवन आई वाज सरप्राइज्ड टुडे कि हाउ कैन इट इज पॉसिबल कि मैंने वो बोला और ये व्यक्ति को ऐसा टच कर गया। ये समझ जाओ इस बात, परमात्मा ऐसा काम करते हैं। तो इसलिए जब भी आप मंदिर आते हो या किसी सीनियर लेक्चर, एक एक चीज को ध्यान से सुनिए, क्या बोला जा रहा है, क्या चाहते हैं आपसे, क्या आपसे उम्मीद रख रहे हैं, क्या कर रहे हैं, और उस पर चिंता मन करते रहिए। हाउ शुड आई एग्जीक्यूट, हाउ शुड आई फॉलो दिस, हाउ शुड आई डू दिस, व्हाट विल प्लीज माय सुपीरियर्स बाय दिस थिंग। इफ योर माइंड इज गोइंग इन दैट डायरेक्शन ना, oh you will grow nicely, very nicely. But if you keep thinking that मेरा मन क्या बोल रहा है, मेरा मन मेरा मन मेरा मन, बस बाकी सुबह 1 घंटा लेक्चर सुन के आपको कुछ नहीं पता उसका, you are simply neglecting it, then things will not happen. Okay, so we'll stop.